Are you thinking about getting a leadership coach, but you're just not sure if they're worth it? Well, there may be some benefits that you may want to consider when making that decision. The Institute of Coaching, which is associated with Harvard Medical School, by the way, cites that 70% of individuals who received coaching benefited from improved work performance, improved relationships, and more effectively communicated. And they also reported that a huge amount of companies actually saw the benefit. In fact, of the companies that they polled, 86% felt that they recouped their investment and then some by investing in employees who wanted to do some coaching, especially at the executive cadre. So the Institute of Coaching also provided some online evidence of some studies that they did. In fact, they did a meta-analysis. They looked at a series of studies to kind of see if they could somehow quantify or identify the value of coaching to the individuals, but also to organizations. Studies on coaching that are currently available have focused a large variety of processes and outcome measures, but are generally lack in firm theoretical foundations. In other words, there's not a lot of, let's call them legitimate science out there that actually articulates the return on investment, right? Or at least that was what the Institute of Coaching kind of identified in their meta-analysis. And that the value of coaching, what they did find though in the evidence that they did investigate and look at, was that it did in fact have significant positive outcomes on all outcomes such as increased coping skills, more goal-directed self-regulation. And they also found that it was a pretty good and effective means of organizations managing change or managing situations. Another study funded by the Amica Corporation, which I thought was really interesting, a little older, from 1998, but what it did is it showed the impact of coaching on the executive cadre, particularly over a 10-year period of time as they were being coached. Those that were coached had a 50% higher salary or had 50% salary increases over those that weren't coached. In other words, if you get coaching, you're more likely to get that promotion, you're more likely to succeed in higher level positions, you're more likely to make more money. That's interesting. Some studies also show that return on investment by companies can be as high as 5 times that of their investments. The Institute of Coaching also articulated that the overarching benefits to both the organizations and the individuals were quite substantial, and they do in fact outline them on their website, which, by the way, I've provided their link down below. If you're thinking about being a coach or you're interested in what coaching can offer you, there's a link that you can go to and you can take a look at what they have to offer. Wanted to take a moment here just to thank you for watching, and press the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this on a weekly basis. And don't forget to hit the like button if you like what you're hearing so far. So what are those benefits that you could actually realize if you were to get a coach? Now, to be fully transparent, I really never got a professional coach in my life before I did an executive process for the Government of Canada when I was working with them. I actually received coaching and I found it super useful. And in fact, it helped me get through the competitive process and successfully get through the exam and the interview, etc. So it actually was very beneficial. It was the first time I had been exposed to the concept of coaching through that executive process. And what it told me was that maybe I needed to keep my mind a little more open to the possibility of doing more maybe personal coaching or professional coaching on a personal level to help me get to the next level. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video on this because I want to know what the benefits of coaching really are. I've seen it anecdotally for myself, but what are the real benefits, right? Well, according to the Institute of Coaching, there are 7 benefits in total that you can realize by having a coach in your life. And the first one is establishing and taking action towards achieving goals. So a coach can help you set goals, but more importantly, they are your accountability partner. They're there to make sure that not only do you set your goals, but that you take tangible action either on a daily, weekly, monthly basis to be able to achieve those goals that you've identified for yourself. And they help measure that stretch, right? And track everything that you're doing, can teach you how to set goals and how to remain accountable even beyond your time with that coach. The other thing they do is help you be more self-reliant. Again, that kind of speaks to what I just said, but essentially what you're doing is you're learning techniques and keeping yourself accountable and continue to stretch and grow and center yourself. If you're learning about public speaking, then it helps you be more self-reliant in your ability to take public speaking and take ownership of, I'm going to put my hand up when I want to present something, or I'm going to put my hand up to present at a conference. And you're going to do that because you're going to be more self-reliant and more willing to be self-directed with respect to your growth. Apparently, you can gain more job and life satisfaction through a coach. Feeling more empowered, building your talents can make you sort of build your self-confidence and help you feel better about yourself overall, so that you're constantly learning and growing and evolving, which, by the way, is what leaders are all about. Leaders are constantly learning, as I said in my previous videos. We're constantly trying to find ways to stretch and grow. You cannot lead unless you're self-aware and you have self-confidence in your ability to move forward on things. So a coach might actually help you get there. People who are coached typically contribute to the organization more or to their teams more. This is all about learning tools, having more tools in your toolkit, so to speak, understanding the skills that can push you to that next level of leadership, having an understanding of who you are, how you present, how people react and respond to your leadership styles. All of that information kind of makes you more willing and more able to effectively manage a team of people or to manage a project. You can also take more responsibility and be more accountable. Now, people who want leaders in organizations, they want you to be able to take responsibility and accountability for what it is that you decide or for what it is you do or for your actions. One of the hardest things that sometimes a person has to learn is how to learn to say, I made a mistake, let's move forward, or that wasn't a bad decision, so now we have to course correct. And being a leader means you need to be able to learn to do that. And not all of us are really good at being able to see what our mistakes or our faults are, where our gaps in knowledge is. A coach can help you kind of figure that out and kind of help you figure out where are your strengths, where are your weaknesses, and how do you take your weaknesses and sort of maybe build them up a little bit so they're a little bit closer to your other strengths. Because weaknesses are just strengths, not unrealized. They're unrealized capacity. So really a coach is there to help you kind of get those weaknesses and kind of figure out ways, tactics, goals, activities that can really help to bring up your level, bring up your game, so to speak. Coaching can maybe help you to communicate more effectively. It could be through the coaching on how to speak to people generally in terms of public speaking skills. It could be as simple as helping you execute methodologies that can help you relay your messages in maybe a more clear, concise, and perhaps more balanced manner. Remember that in my How to Overcome Public Speaking Anxieties, which I'm going to put a card up here for you to click on if that's something you're interested in. Really learning how to communicate clearly and concisely is sort of a key component to leadership. You cannot lead what you cannot speak, right? So if you're unable to communicate, it's very difficult to get people to follow you if you're not able to share the vision of what it is you want them to be a part of. Organizationally, there are some clear benefits. One, the individuals themselves can feel encouraged and supported and empowered through coaching. Specifically, it helps organizations tap into those hidden strengths that maybe employees didn't even know they had. It can really help the business overcome obstacles. It can help with change management initiatives. It can really look at things like mental models, sort of what are the biases of the organization and how do you get around those biases? Are biases affecting the bottom line, or are they affecting employee morale or culture? So really coaches can really help to tease out these strengths and how to overcome some of the issues that are sort of rising up, if you will, with staff. Coaching is demonstrated to help attitude. Specifically, employees feel more engaged because the organization is seemingly investing in them as individuals. And so they feel more valued. And because of that, it increases the engagement, because no doubt that if an employee feels like they have value, they're going to want to give more to the organization that's investing in them, right? Leadership principles can actually be enforced or reinforced through coaching. Coaches learn and can help you practice and implement practices. So for example, if you look at the Leadership Challenge by Coos and Posner, which I have the link down below for the book, if it's a book that, well, first of all, it's mandatory reading for anybody who wants to be a leader, but if it's a book that you're interested in, I do have the link down below. If you were to take the 5 principles, let's say you do modeling the way, at the end of that chapter in the book, there's actually a series of action items that you can apply as a leader within your organization tangibly, like today. So a coach can help you take those action items, put them into a plan of sorts, and help you really grow your leadership by applying those principles. And then as you get feedback from your organization and challenges present themselves, because again, it's textbook, life isn't textbook. So when you apply these principles in real life, there will be pushback on some of them. And your coach can help you work through those situations and kind of maybe help you figure out how you're going to move next. So again, coaches don't give advice typically. They try to get you to come up with the solutions organically organically through your own knowledge and experience. But, they are there to help guide you in terms of where to go for more information, or maybe you can reapply something in a tweaked manner so that, you can have more success next time around. Coaching can help with individual performance and the feeling of empowerment. So you can help learn time management. You can help learn about people skills. You can look up at ways of better managing situations. Coaches can help ask those really tough questions that have you think introspectively about how you approached a problem or how you manage something and how might you do it differently next time to get a different result. Coaches also help to flesh out your talents and push you beyond your current comfort zone or your current boundaries. So having a coach can help really improve your overall performance. Think athletes, right? Athletes have coaches. They have coaches because they need to be pushed to the next level of success. And so professionally, from a leadership perspective or organizationally, if you have a coach, their job is exactly the same. So if you treat yourself a bit like a high-end athlete, really at the end of the day, it's about reaching your next step or your next level. Organizations can also use coaching as a way of identifying employees that could be talent managed. So sometimes a sponsor will hire a contractor or a company to come in and coach all of the executive cadre. And as part of that, through the assessments that are done by coaches at the front end, they can actually identify those people that maybe have a particular skill set, a particular acumen, a particular personality type, a particular amount of experience that when combined can actually be someone that might be identified for talent management. If you've been identified as somebody who's going to be talent managed in your organization, then coaching could be a really useful tool to get you to the next level, be it a position or be it leading another project or something that has a bit more weight to it and can really look great on a CV. If you're on the fence about getting a coach, you know what? I don't blame you, because for years I felt the same way. And in fact, I resisted having a professional career coach up until this year. There was a turnaround time, as I said, with the executive competitive process in my government job, where a light switch almost went off in my head. I was like, oh, so that's what coaches are for, and that's how they can help you. So I kind of get that if you're questioning whether or not coaching is for you. But remember that coaching is an investment in you, just like your education. So if you have a grad degree or you have an undergrad degree, that was money you put forward as an investment in you so that you could be maybe more marketable for the next job, for example. Not investing in you might actually cost you more in the long run than actually spending the money on a coach and investing in yourself. So I know that sometimes money's a problem because coaches are not necessarily cheap. Their packages can be substantially pricey. But at the end of the day, their job is to help you be the best you that you can be, right? And so they can help you succeed getting that next job, that next promotion. They might help you to grow in your leadership at a faster, maybe more effective rate. Or maybe you now can speak publicly and you're speaking at public conferences, for your trade or for your company in ways that you could never do before you had a coach, right? And so then you gain more respect, more notoriety. Maybe you're placed in front of somebody else for promotional consideration because of your growth. I understand that putting money towards a coach might not necessarily be something you want to do, but I know myself personally, I really hesitated about this, and I'm actually investing in a coach for myself to get me to the next level. So, coaches have coaches. That's just one of those things. We professionals also need to be coached, even so we're helping others as mentors, because again, you want to grow and be the best you that you can be. As a leader, I understand the need and the value of ongoing learning and ongoing growth. If this is something you've been on the fence about and you're not sure, other than the fact that you're investing some cash out of your bank account, I really don't see any negatives about coaching. Obviously, you want to get the right coach and you want to make sure it's the right fit for you. And you want to make sure that those coaches and yourself have those initial meetings that helps to determine whether or not you and that coach are really a good fit together, because you would hate to invest money in somebody who gets on your nerves or that you have a bad feeling about. You want to make sure that there's a level of comfort there, that this person could be considered almost like your friend, that you have something in common. Anyway, those are the kinds of things that you're going to want to investigate when having a conversation with your coach the first few times. And by the way, don't feel bad about asking a coach for just a conversation for the first time that you meet them. A legitimate coach, a certified coach, won't be asking for money right off the bat. They're going to want to meet with you, establish a bit of rapport, figure out if this is a good fit before they ask you to invest any more time in them. So if you're thinking about becoming a coach yourself, by the way, if this is something that you're thinking about or you want more information about coaching, I have the link down below to the Executive College of Coaching, which is where I'm taking my courses to better myself as a coach. So it's something to think about. They have various different coaching programs that you can take a look at there. They also have access to coaches. It's an American company for those of you that are wondering if this is in America or in Canada. Or alternatively, you can go to my alma mater, which is Royal Roads University. They have an executive coaching program there. And so if this is something you're interested in professionally for yourself, you can get a grad degree in executive coaching or a grad certificate in executive coaching through Royal Roads University, which again is my alma mater. So if you want, I've got their link down below as well to help you out there. And if you are looking for a coach for yourself and you're not sure where to start, there'll be a couple links down below to a couple of coaches, myself included, who will be willing to have a conversation with you about your needs and refer out if the folks that are down below are not a good fit for you. So I hope you really liked this video and that you got something positive out of this video. I know that for me, I've been challenged about getting a coach for years. And just in the last several weeks, I decided to make the commitment and move forward on coaching for myself. And so, you know what? I think it's a good idea. And I really do, having had coaching now on a very small scale for a competitive process that actually allowed me to be successful in it, I know it works. I hope this video gave you a little more information to help inform your decision as to whether or not you want to proceed with a coach or not. I totally get the hesitancy. You just need to make that decision for yourself. And I hope that the information I provided helps you in making that decision. So if you like this video, remember to give it a big thumbs up. I do appreciate you being here. Thanks again for watching On the Level Leadership. See you next week.